What is up, my friends? I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday season, and I am here with the final preview of 2024. The Reds travel down to London to take on Julian Lopetegui's West Ham in our final game of this calendar year. For this preview, what I'm going to do is give you an update ahead of the game with some injuries and suspensions from both camps, my starting 11 preview, my score prediction, and of course some recent head-to-heads and West Ham's form coming into this one. Sound good? Well, you know what you need to do, folks. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with my starting 11 prediction or score prediction? What would you do differently, or any other thoughts that you have on the game? We'd love to know. Drop a like if you enjoy it, and of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So, normally at this point, this is where I say to you, we're going to cut now to a word from our sponsor, but we've decided for the last one of the calendar year, let's keep it sponsor free and just go straight into the news. So I'm going to start off with an update from the Liverpool camp, and Arne Slot has been speaking ahead of this one to say that unfortunately Ibrahim Konate and Conor Bradley still won't be available for selection. I had hoped that they would be back at this point, but it looks as if the Manchester United game on January the 5th could be a more likely return for those two. On top of that, the manager will be without Dominic Szoboszlai after he picked up a yellow card against Leicester City. That means he's now going to serve a suspension. But what about the West Ham camp? Well, Julian Lopetegui has been speaking, and here's a little bit of what he had to say. He said, We have out Mikel Antonio. We also have out Lucas Fabianski, Max Kilman, Carlos Soler, Thomas Souček and Guido. Now, the latter two of those are just suspensions, but we know about, obviously, the incident with Mikel Antonio, and we wish him a speedy recovery. They're the other injuries, though, that West Ham have coming into this one. So, what is their form like, and what is their recent history with West Ham? So, let's have a little look at that. As you can see, our last 3 games against West Ham were the EFL Cup this season, where we beat them by 5-1. The Premier League last year in the away game, it was West Ham 2, Liverpool 2. And strangely enough, in last season's EFL Cup, we also beat West Ham by 5-1. But West Ham's own form coming into this game, well, their last 5 looks like this. Leicester beat them by 3-1. Then they turned it around to beat Wolves in that really important game. It was El Sacico, as it was being called. Then they had a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. A 1-1 draw followed up then against Brighton. And they had a 1-0 victory over Southampton. So that's their last couple of results heading into this game. Now, though, we get into the business end of the video, the starting 11 prediction. And as always, I'm going to talk you through my thought process along the way. Right, so let's go. Straight up, goalkeeper and centre-backs. What have I gone for here? No surprises, really. It's going to be Alisson Becker to continue in goal and Joe Gomez to come in alongside Virgil van Dijk. It would be lovely to keep a clean sheet, wouldn't it? Because, you know, we haven't kept one in a while. But this is as much of a settled centre-back pairing as we can have at the minute with Ibrahim Konate being out. So I don't really expect any changes from Arne Slot there. What about the full-back positions, though? Have I made a change there? Well, yes, I have. One in particular. I have brought in Costas to replace Andy Robertson. And then, of course, we keep Trent Alexander-Arnold on the other side. It is the lesser of 2 headaches for me, this one, with regards to the left-back. I don't know. I don't think there is any decision that I can make right now of who plays in the left-back position for this game and not feel concerned about it, whether it's Costas or Andy Robertson. I think most of us at this point feel concerned about that area of the pitch and would like to see some reinforcements brought in. Because Robbo has had a little bit of a bad run lately, I thought this was a good time to bring Costas in and give him a run and see if he can fare any better. So, back 5 for me, Alisson Becker, Costas at left back, Trent at right back, and Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk in the centre back positions. Now, though, we move into midfield, and remember, we have no Dominic Szoboszlai available, as I mentioned a minute ago, so don't expect to see him in the midfield trio. This is what I've gone for. Ryan Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott, and Alexis McAllister. I know the simple thing to do would probably just to keep Curtis Jones in there instead of Dominic Szoboszlai. It's usually one of them plays one game, then the manager brings the other in for the other game. But I think it's time we start trusting Harvey Elliott, because I think he gives us something a little bit different. And away from home, if West Ham, for instance, do sit back a little bit, well, I don't want the repeat of the first half against Leicester where we're playing against a low block and we're struggling to find a way through. I think Harvey Elliott would give us that little bit of something different. And I also think he's deserving of a starting place. Give us a chance to give Curtis a bit of a rest, maybe bring him off the bench if needs be. And on top of that, if I'm being entirely honest, I wasn't greatly impressed with Curtis Jones in the last game, although he has overall had a good season. Ryan Gravenberch, I wish I felt comfortable saying, hey, look, put in Endo for this one, maybe give Ryan a rest, but we can't afford to do that yet. We still remains to be seen what happens in the January transfer window, and look, most of us, if not all of us, feel like we should be looking to get Ryan a compatriot or a player to come in and give him a bit of an opportunity to get a breather. Now, you may feel that that player is Wataru Endo, but I think we can gauge at this point that Arne Slot probably doesn't feel the same. So for me, it will be that midfield trio if I was picking, but maybe you guys think differently. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you put Jones in, or would you mix it up with somebody else? Maybe you think Endo deserves a start. Let me know. Right, now we move into the business end of the pitch, the top three. In the wide positions, no real surprises here, or at least I don't think so. Mohamed Salah on the right, and I would go with Luis Diaz on the left, because Cody Gakpo played the last one, and I'd like to switch it up. It feels a little bit dirty that saying, relieve Cody of his duties after him scoring against Leicester, but I do think, if I'm being entirely honest, Lucho away from home would be more beneficial to us. At least that's where my head's at. But if Cody Gakpo plays, of course, I'd have no concerns about that either. On the right-hand side, well, the great man plays when he's fit, so Mohamed Salah on the right. Now, all that remains is to figure out who I've gone for through the middle. We've seen that he backed Darwin Núñez in the last game. Will he continue that going into this one? I doubt it. So I've gone for Diogo Jota to start. Now, Arne did say in his press conference that it's about building up the fitness for Jota after being 2 months out. He didn't think he was quite fit enough to start the last one, but I do think he may look to start him here, because we've a big gap then to the game against Manchester United in January the 5th. So for me, that is the 11 that I would like to see take to the pitch. Alisson Becker in goal, Trent at right back, Costas at left back, Joe Gomez and Virgil in the centre back positions. Midfield of Ryan Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott and Alexis McAllister. And then up top, Diogo Jota through the centre for me. On the right, Mohamed Salah. On the left, Luis Diaz. All that remains for me to do now is give you my score prediction. And again, I thought long and hard about this one. And it is, of course, a stab in the dark. So let me know what you guys think about it. But ultimately, I've ended up going for a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. I was hovering around a 3-1 or a 4-2. But I really want to try and manifest the clean sheet if possible here. So I've gone for a 2-0 victory. A very business-like performance from the Reds. As long as we leave London with the 3 points, that's all I'm concerned about. But it would be nice to keep a clean sheet. So that is my thoughts ahead of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Now it is over to you to let us know what you're thinking. Do you agree with my team selection and score prediction? Or do you think otherwise? Please do feel free to let me know below. We will be covering the game, as you would expect, here on the channel, starting an hour and 15 minutes beforehand. Again, hope you can join us for that. We'll have our watch along, our match reaction, and of course our player ratings video as well. Really do appreciate all of your support. Thank you for a great 2024, and we hope that we carry on doing you proud in 2025. We'll catch up soon. Much love. Bye-bye.